Homegrown Radio. Real 92.3.
Yep, the all-new Real 92.3 Homegrown Radio. You know we bring radio back to its roots. Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head.
Yes, sir.
Man, hey, Young M.A. in the building with us right now. Hey, man, you know what? It's funny. We were just leaving this party the other day. Shout out to homie DJ Artistic. And the folks...
Artistic hella ugly for people that don't know.
For the record. Hella
ugly.
But yeah, one of your records came on, and you know, folks was vibing to it or whatever. And somebody was like, "Yo, that's Young M.A." And they were asking, "Yo," because I told them I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be interviewing her soon." Right. It was like, "Yo, it's a Young M.A, Young M.A." So is that abbreviation for something?
People
or
always fuck that up, huh?
Yeah, nah. I mean, it was Young M.A at one point, but I had to change it because it's other M's.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's the only reason. It ain't. You know what I mean? It ain't really no big, thing behind it. But it's no story behind it. But yeah, so it's Young M.A. You know what I mean? I want people to refer to me as that, so they just won't get no confusion.
Yeah.
And then when you type me up, you know what I mean? Either way, my name still come up now because I'm popping now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So she like it, you know what I'm saying?
She ain't lying though, seriously, because like you taking over the East, obviously. You taking over just underground shit. But like a lot of times when shit happens out here, like I said, when somebody recognized, I was like, damn. You know? She's like, yeah, man, she popping. She on her shit. So I want to congratulate you on that too,
Thanks,
man. Just for
taking
over your shit and then being able to pop, in other different markets, man. And what's going on out here in LA, man? What you doing out here?
Business, man. I can't really tell y'all exactly, you know what I mean? But it's definitely business, definitely trying to, expand myself. So, you know what I mean? It's, ain't no place to come to, LA.
You know what's dope is
West
that a lot
Coast.
of artists don't do that. A lot of artists don't come out here. They don't fuck around. They don't, you know what I mean? Like, make the rounds. Like, there's many places you can go. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's dope that, like, when you see artists from other regions, especially, like, when they come out here, me and him from here. Like, we born and raised in L.A. You from Brooklyn, right? Yeah. Okay, so, like, do artists go to Brooklyn? Do artists come to New York like they come out here? Or do you notice that people kind of favor, like, L.A. more?
I never even thought of it like that.
Because I know for a fact that when you make it, you got to go to New York.
Right,
but I'm talking about just how you get on your own thing, on your own dime, just like I'm going.
New York is like, I don't know, I don't really see too many people like on the coming to New York to make they buzz. So, because one thing about New York, man, New York don't really have like places where you can, throw an event and, everybody come to this certain spot. We probably got like one or two of those spots, you know what I mean? Like everything else is like the Barclays Center, you know what I mean? The stadiums.
It's big business.
But it's not, everything else is like the strip clubs. It's like little local, you know what I mean? But we don't have like what's that word I'm looking for? Like venues. Yeah,
so
like
what's the spot that you sold out though?
Webster Hall, that's like one of them.
Okay,
right, and with the SOBs, that's another one. And Baby's All Right, that was another spot too, but it still was a small venue. It wasn't like SOBs and Webster Hall. You know what I mean? But those is like the only two. You feel me?
I didn't think about that. Now that you mentioned it, those are the only places that I
really and then Long Island is like New York, but it's like separate. You know what I mean? So you can't really count too much of Long Island because it ain't the city.
Gotcha.
But it ain't really, you know what I mean? It ain't really like
you guys don't
big
have
venues.
House of Blues out there?
We don't got a fucking House of Blues.
Well, I know House of Blues is done now, but I'm just saying, like, you guys didn't have
we got
or is that kind of like the equivalent of SOBs?
We got
SOBs and
BB Kings.
BB Kings, that's one.
Yeah, BB Kings. I forgot about BB Kings. Yeah, BB Kings. That's another. But that's it though. You know what I mean? It ain't.
Damn. So I see why you would have to go touch different markets.
Yeah. You gotta. Yeah.
Damn.
Now you know what? The first taste I got of Young M.A, Young M.A, right?
Like you messing up.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, I just because y'all said that that's the first time I ever said that out loud. But like the first ever I ever heard of you was the Chirac freestyle.
Oh yeah,
that was like a year or two ago.
Yeah,
2 years
ago.
That was 2 years ago, and I sent it. I'm not bullshitting you. This is like everybody know I keep it real. Like I sent it to one of my OG homies in like in the hood. And he hit me back, and this is exactly what he said. He said, "That bitch hard."
That's basically how it be.
Hey, I was like, because I saw it on somebody sent me the link or something,
right,
like
YouTube,
because I just like we known for all the up and coming stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm looking, and they know like I'm looking for what's the new shit.
Right.
So I'm looking, and the video come across, and I'm looking at the video, and then I mean after you rappers like Rail or somebody came on.
Yeah.
I'm just, and I kept rewinding to your shit, and I'm like, damn, like that's probably the hardest shit I've heard in 2 years.
Right.
on some just gutter freestyle.
Right.
Just we just gonna pull out the camera and shoot this shit.
Right.
What the fuck? Like, what? Where'd you get that from? Like, I mean, I know you write your own shit,
right?
But where did you get that from? Like, is that something? Like, you were? It seemed like you were pissed off.
Yeah.
Like you wasn't. Nobody was taking you serious, or like, what was the inspiration
it was
behind it?
Just exactly how you said it, man. Just basically, it's crazy because that was one of the freestyles where it was like fluent. Like I could have kept going. Like I was zoned out. I was blacking out when I wrote to that. You know what I mean? It was just like something that I was like, yo, it's just everything just coming off the mind. It was letting go. Yeah. In a while, I haven't had that in a while. So that was one of the freestyles where I could have went on for the whole 5-6 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it was definitely just, a lot of frustration, you know what I mean? And definitely, just trying to get in, get people to see who I am and understand me and losing my brother, of course, and just, just a bunch of, personal stuff and just basically.
It seemed like a lot of that stuff was personal.
Yeah.
Like, if you kept saying people, I don't know who the hell they were,
yeah,
but
just haters.
I'm like, okay, I'm not fucking with him. I'm not fucking with him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The haters, you got haters out there. You got people that, judge you. It's just a lot, but that was just one of the records, like one of those beats you had to go in on. Because everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to do that first.
You weren't going to do it?
I wasn't going to do that beat at first.
So did you write to it, or you wrote the bars and then put it to the...
What you mean?
Like, you wrote to the beat, or you already had the bars and you was like, I'm going to do it?
Oh, no, I wrote to the beat.
Oh,
I wrote to the beat, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it was just like the flow of it. Like, I already knew. Once I got the tempo, once I got that first line down, it was like, that was it now. Now it's just, I'm going now. Take off.
It's funny because a lot of times, like you just mentioned how you kind of went off because, folks was not taking you serious, or whatever the case may be. But a lot of times that shit becomes fluid when you let go. Talk about, like, having less resistance but still trying to prove people wrong. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause a lot of people, they get in their own way trying to do something. And then I noticed that with a lot of people's story, they say the same thing. They're like, man, once I just sat back and just did me, then that's when everything kind of like just started coming. That's
exactly what it was. Like, you know what I mean? Once I got comfortable with just speaking how I feel, you know what I mean, on the music, not really caring if people feel away if I talk about, this or that, you know what I mean? Once I got to that point, it was just like, it's like music is my therapy. You feel me? Like, it's my way of expressing myself because I don't talk about my problems. I ain't, I had psychiatrists and all that, but I wasn't really going like that.
What were you in therapy for?
Losing my brother.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Plus, and then plus I had a lot of anger issues and all that, so it was just, just basically
so
trying
don't
to
fuck with you.
Basically, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a real to myself type of person. Like, it's hard for me to basically trust people and kind of interact with people I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, with the music, I gotta do it now. But before all this, I was always like standoffish. Like, if I ain't know you like that, I had to observe you. I had to really analyze you first and make sure, you know what I mean? All right, what's up?
So
you know
the
what I mean?
cameras and all that is new to you.
Yeah,
that's why, because now with the audience now, you have obviously worldwide exposure, people that are listening to you all over the place, not just your folks or just people that you run into on the street. Like, how did you make that adjustment knowing that, okay, I'm gonna like now open up and get this shit off to a worldwide audience?
I don't know. I can't even tell you. Like, I'm just going with the flow right now. Like, I know this is something I've asked for. I'm gonna say that.
Right.
I asked for this.
Yeah. Just gotta deal with it.
I gotta deal with it.
What's your least favorite part so far of it, of the music aspect?
I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot of male groupies, man.
Word.
So what you mean,
man,
like dudes hitting you up?
And it could be, don't get me wrong, like, guys could show their respect and be like, yo, I fucks with your music or whatever the case. But when you go like above and beyond, you jump in front of the girls and be like, yo, like just corny, throwing your phone out when I'm, not looking. You just like, I'm with Young M.A right now, and I ain't paying you no mind.
It's like, damn, what are you doing,
like,
dog?
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
They'll throw that word day one in real quick.
Yeah, like, yo, I know them.
Like, hey.
I know her. We about to go to the studio. We about to work on the joint. Bro, and I ain't even looking at your camera, boy. What you talking about?
So who's the family member or the person from the neighborhood that came out the woodwork? That just came out of nowhere and now they day one fan. Who's that person?
Who? Person?
Yeah,
people.
There's multiple.
This is multiple.
Who are some of those people? Like, is it aunties?
I got some cousins that I barely wasn't cool with. From you know what I mean,
They from
growing
the
up,
other
I ain't really know
neighborhood.
them. I ain't grow up knowing you like that. Probably saw you at family reunions,
yeah.
but that's about it.
They
now
find
we
pictures like,
yeah,
remember when Thanksgiving? Like, the fuck you talking
yo,
about?
you so accurate, like it's crazy.
And don't let it be because in social media make it that much more crazy. They can tag
Exactly,
you in there, like,
exactly. They
remember
tag you.
Day one, we was here.
Right, social media don't help at all, man. Make it really seem like, oh, that is your cousin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So definitely cousins.
Yeah.
Definitely, you know, I'm gonna say like old
situations.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just people want clout, man. People want clout, man.
What
I wouldn't
about
say
exes?
exes. Nah, I wouldn't say exes too much. Like my exes ain't really on it. Like, yeah,
They don't give a fuck. You burnt them bridges.
I think it's cause it's cause they know how I am, so they know they can't even do no corny shit like that.
They're not going to get back.
You know what I mean? Yeah, cause period.
That's crazy. So, I mean, you obviously are real open about your relationship with it's still your ex, right? Or is
I ain't gonna call her my ex because we on good terms. You know what I mean? So
it's just like
we just not together.
Got you.
Yeah.
What define that? What the fuck does that mean?
What? We not together?
That sounds simple to me.
I don't want to say, you know, usually kind of X kind of mean like
it's over, like
it's
no more.
over,
Yeah,
like
nah.
it's like
Okay,
you X'd out of the equation.
Put it this way: would she pick you up and drop you off at the airport?
Yeah, but she don't know how to drive.
Y'all good. Then.
She don't got her license yet, so.
What I'm
you
saying,
just basically, I know.
Yeah, you know how that shit go. And you gotta go. I gotta go to LA.
Yeah.
Hey, drop
Find
me off
your
at
own
the
way.
airport.
Yeah, I think if she,
Spend
had
the
her
night,
license,
then
she
drop
would
me
make that happen. Yeah. It's like, you know what I mean? We have our arguments, but we still acquainted. Like, we make sure we have each other back at the end of the day.
Okay, that's the reason why I was asking, because you're very open with what happened with the situation. And just me, I'm always trying to analyze that situation. It seems like you would want the situation to be a little better, but at the same time, like you were just describing, like, you kind of push people away. You don't really let people in.
Right.
You know, so that may kind of harbor the situation from healing itself.
Right.
I would think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, did the industry kind of have a play into why you guys kind of took apart? Or was it a situation that happened prior to all this?
It's the music.
I don't think it's the music. I think it's the attention. I think my attention not being focused so much on the relationship anymore, and you know things around me is starting to change, so I have to focus on these things more. So we can't blame anything else but us.
Right.
You understand, and how we react to it. We can't blame nothing else around us. It's just it's an all part of adapting to something.
Got you.
And if you can't adapt to it, then it ain't gonna work out.
Last question about the relationship. Then we're gonna move on. Are you the crazy one or is she crazy?
Both.
So both y'all lose.
Both.
What sign?
He's shaking his head like hell yeah.
What sign are you?
I'm an Aries.
And what sign is she?
Oh, shit.
She a Virgo.
Okay. My boy's an Aries. It's all bad. I know
For
3
real?
Aries girls that they be fighting in the club, hitting bitches with bottles.
Oh man, listen, you can't speak for all Aries, man.
It's definitely
I'm an April Aries. Maybe they're March Aries.
Nah, they April Aries. Nah, you ain't gonna wiggle out of that.
Now, one thing too, also, man, you've gotten a lot of praise from the OGs, man, on the East, man, in New York, man, specifically, like, you know, Jadakiss and somebody you looked up to, 50 Cent. What I really want to know is, what are them bars that 50 Cent broke down to you when you had that meeting with him?
You know what's crazy? Cause 50, he kind of talk in like metaphors.
So it's up to you to figure out the puzzle.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think that's what makes him, I guess, smart. You know what I mean? Because you have to be a person to understand what he's saying.
Gotcha.
And if you don't, then you just don't matter.
You assed out.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you really had to just really like kind of like comprehend everything he said and really think about it. Like, oh, okay.
Now, was the dots connecting while you were there? Did a couple things like after you got like on the ride? I'm like, damn, okay.
I'm gonna say that. Like, I caught on to it, but then when I left, like, it was like, you know what I mean? Like, I get where he was going with it. You know what I mean? I get what he was saying with it. He just wasn't like straight, direct to the point.
Not gonna give you the jewels.
Yeah, he's not gonna. Yeah, it's basically, you know, he preparing you for that. You know what I mean?
That's gotta be amazing, man. Because they always say you don't want to meet, or it's a 50-50 thing when you meet the person you look up to the most.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And for you to actually meet somebody that you looked up to, and it was
actually
what you wanted.
Exactly. I just said that. Like, when I seen him, when I met him, he was exactly how I pictured him as a kid. Like, same height. You know what I mean? Same look, same weight, everything. Like, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
And it just was like, yo, like, this is really the 50 Cent I always pictured, you know, as a kid. You know what I mean? But to have a conversation with him, it's like he was trying to tell me something, but not trying to, you know, basically say it. He just was like, you gonna get it, basically. Like, you gonna get it eventually, you know what I mean? This industry, da-da-da. Just schooling me on, you know, the industry and how, you know, how I might need to move. And, you know, basically gave me a compliment by saying I remind him of his mother.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So that's what caught me the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was just like exactly. So to hear that as somebody that looked up to him as a kid, to hear that and know his whole story with, you know, his mom.
Yeah, he opened about everything.
His moms and grandma.
Yeah. Grandparents.
Grandparents, you're right.
So that was just like, oh.
So being from New York, now it's been quiet, okay? As far as nationally. For us, it's been like how we quiet for y'all quiet for us. You are probably, I mean,
the loudest.
Bobby was the one that came out here.
Davies is smashing too.
That's true. Davies is smashing. I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like with the whole everything.
Right.
You independent.
Right.
Now being the quote unquote chosen one from New York.
Right.
Okay. Everybody's stamping you.
Right.
Everybody. My boy Self put the word in for you.
Yeah.
Like everybody fuck with you.
Right.
What is that? Is that a lot of pressure for you? Or do you feel like, do you take that, or do you like, nah, I'm just doing me? Like, do you feel like there was a void in New York?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely take that. You know what I mean? Because this is something I've been banging at the door at for the longest. Like letting y'all know, like, yo, I'm trying to bring this city up.
Yeah.
Y'all don't hear me. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So I guess I had to give them one of my, you know, nuclear bombs. And, you know, wake the city up. Like, oh, y'all thought it was a game. Y'all don't hear me knocking, so now I'm about to kick the door down.
And when you dropped the Sleepwalking, I listened to, I forgot what the name of the song was. It was a freestyle over the, it was one of the songs. I forgot. There's a feature on there. His name is Mr. Man.
Oh, that was Her Love. That's an actual record.
Song.
Yeah,
okay.
That's an actual record.
Because I know that's why I was going to ask you, why is there actually, it's like 2 or 3 of them, is it 1 or 2 records on there, the actual songs?
No,
it's like 6.
Half and half.
Yeah, it's half and half.
No, I'm talking about the ones with him.
Oh, no, it's only one with him.
It's one with him. Okay, why that one? Like, because I was listening to it and I'm like, okay, freestyle, and then it was like song, and I was like, okay, that stood out to me. Like, did you do that intentionally, or did you have some freestyles?
No, it was like, oh, hold on, I'm trying to figure out where you're going with it, because I know I had the first song, well, the intro, and then I had Quiet Storm. That's a freestyle.
10 bands.
The next is a song. Get This Money. It went back and forth from.
I'm saying, what was the, like, why? Because there's not that many features on there.
Oh, so you basically saying why that one you
why
got
that
featured.
was what's the significance of that person?
Oh, well, he's actually related to my manager, but that's how we like got connected, because he sings, you know what I mean? Right. And I needed a singer for the record. I wanted a God singer. But I didn't want nobody that was lit. I didn't really care for that. Like, I just needed somebody just humming.
I was asking because I noticed that a lot of people come out and they do hella features.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But your shit, like even on OOOUU.
Right.
Ooh, I didn't say it right.
No, you.
Ooh. What's the proper enunciation of that shit?
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh, it's more of a sound.
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
All right. So even on that, it's no like, I mean, it's just you.
Yeah, it's just me.
Like, do you do that intentionally, or are you like, you just kind of antisocial still? You still ain't warmed to the industry?
He like, you antisocial still? That's why you weak over there.
That's why you laughing. I'm looking at the management, and I'm like, yo, she's antisocial. Man, I'm looking at the tape.
That's part of her knocking on that door. Like, look, I'm gonna do this shit.
Yeah, I just wanted people to understand, like, I'm not even gonna say as a female, because I don't want to put that title on it. I just want to just say as me, you know what I mean, as me being an artist. And, you know, it's an entertainer. I felt like I didn't want to have somebody make me hot.
Got you. That's why I was
going
with
So if we go back to female, if we want to say female, I don't want nobody to feel like I needed a guy on a record or somebody to make me hot.
That's where I was going with it.
You know what I'm saying? I felt like I had to do this on my own.
That's crazy, because if you look at it like that's what it is. If you look at every female in the game, you always pair them to a dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I commend you on that.
That's why I was asking if you did that intentionally, because that's why it stood out to me. I'm like, okay, it's like 1-2 features on here.
And not even intentionally. It was just me, like antisocial, like you said. I ain't gonna lie, little antisocial, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just me being in my zone and just like really focusing on getting myself out there. Not really too worried about who can make me hot or who hot right now that I can, F with or whatever the case may be. So I got in my zone like I've always been since a kid, writing my own music. Yeah. Not really thinking about, if I do get big, I'm going to have this person on my song. Like, I never thought like that. I always thought as a kid, I'm going to be hot because I'm going to be hot. Just me, being me, period.
Period.
You know what I mean? So
I fuck with that.
That stuck with me. You understand? That stuck with me. I didn't really care too much about putting a guy on my mixtape that wasn't known. Like, even my DJ on there, he's not even like big. You know what I mean? But he just has that demeanor and that sound about him that'll punch. That'll make your your joint sound crazy. He don't even gotta have a big name. Now I'm gonna give you a big name. Yeah. You understand? Let's work together. Let's build.
So it's more of an in-house thing.
It's an in-house thing.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
That red life, man. You gotta know about that.
Right,
red life,
that red
man.
life. You gotta build, man. You see how Jay-Z did it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And
So-
that kind of brings me to my next question. I mean, I know you out here having meetings,
Right.
getting situations right. So for you,
G14 classified
what would be that situation? Well, first of all, before we even say that,
Right.
the independent game is so strong. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are successful at that and kind of making their own blueprint with that.
Right.
Is there a perfect situation for you that you see like that would make you want to sign, or are you content still kind of building the way you're building and building your own brand up with Red
Yeah,
Light?
we definitely still building. Nobody's really saying anything different than what we're already doing.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're basically just trying to hear everybody out, that has an offer, and we're trying to see if anybody's going to basically say something different to put us in a better position and continue to build from, where we're at. Exactly. So like right now, we basically in a position to compete with other labels. Like that's what we trying to do. Like that's where our mental is at. Like we not setting no goals on, okay, let's do this. Like no goals is being set. We're just going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no stopping. Like I said, like I don't set a goal because of setting a goal is like you're planning to stop. You planning to stop somewhere. You planning to stand still somewhere. And then it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Set a new goal.
Right.
Yeah, that happened to me.
So I feel like when we go, we don't really too much look back on what we did until we really get asked those questions like, so, what have you done, and then we can go back and be like, well, we did do this, we did do that, you know what I mean? But to me, like, honestly, I don't even feel like I did anything. Like,
not yet.
No, I don't feel that yet, and that's the hunger.
That's the beautiful part about
you know what I mean?
That.
I don't want to stop and think like, that. Yo, this is what I did. Because if I lose that, I'm gonna get comfortable and it's a wrap. Yeah. I really feel like I ain't do nothing.
Damn.
That's dope. That's a good way to look at it. That's a hell of perspective. Now, do you think that what influence do you have? Like, because I know you said 50 Cent. You looked up, right? But coming from your neighborhood, like, what are the influences from your neighborhood that influence your music? Is it experience? Is it people?
Yes, it's more so experience. Like, I think I'm gonna say more so what really like made me really like just like be on some. I'm going like
because your style is way different.
Yeah.
Than anything I've probably heard out of New York in a while, in a long time.
Well, I always was into music. I'm gonna say that. Like, I always had a love for music. Like, I never lost that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I always from a kid to right now, this moment, like, I've always had that love for music. Like, I've studied it. I've studied the industry. Like, I've seen, like, behind the scenes of artists, having interviews. Like, I studied that as a kid. You know what I mean? Like, I really was into that. I was into, like, all the DVDs, the smack DVDs you get in the hood, and just paying attention to everything. So now, like, when it's time to, like, do interviews and stuff, I already know how to handle it. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I didn't study for that.
Yes.
Here,
right. But growing up, all that stuck with me.
Straight
you understand? So when people be like, yo, it's crazy how you really know how to talk at interviews. Like, nah, I didn't study for that. I mean, I didn't, like, go to a class or something like now and This was, like, This is something I studied as a kid.
That's good. For an antisocial person, you're doing very well.
I mean, this is all
it's
part
not
of.
Yeah.
Nah.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
I'm out here,
Brooklyn.
Nah, man, I gotta. This is the business, man. You gotta, you know what I mean. You gotta be. But don't get me wrong.
It can get there.
Yeah.
It probably just depends on the situation.
It definitely depends on the people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, I get asked the same questions all the time.
Yeah. Well, keep going.
All the time, you know. But I feel like now, like on this side of town, I feel like I'm okay with it. You know, letting y'all know what it is because y'all ain't really y'all familiar, but y'all not.
Right, we still get
exactly.
To know you.
Well, with that being said, goddamn it, welcome to the West Coast.
Absolutely.
I know you've been out here before and you frequent the area and whatnot.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about? And we was talking about this before we started, but what's your favorite thing about the West Coast?
West Coast. I like the West Coast because I don't be here. You understand? So when you're not somewhere a lot, definitely like. Come on, like, this is beautiful out here compared to New York. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my city. My city is thorough, man. You know what I mean? It's like, it's cluttered. Everything is on top of each other. You know what I mean? It's like left and right. It's fast. You know what I mean? You come out here, it's like you can really breathe for a second.
Relax,
you know what I mean? Right.
Stretch out.
So, but I never really, I can't even say, like, I like LA, but I can't say I love it yet because I didn't really get the
whole thing.
Yeah, I didn't get the experience yet. I just, you know, every time I came out here, it was strictly business.
Got you.
And it was back on the plane, back to New York.
Is it the same situation this time too?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get a chance to go eat or nowhere.
I mean, yeah, but come on, man, food. Like, I'm trying to see where the girls at. I mean, tonight gonna be lit though.
Yeah.
Cause you know, I'm at the One Oak joint.
Gotcha.
So that's gonna be my first experience at a club and performing. I never performed out here.
Shit, okay.
So I can honestly say this would probably be the time where, you know, I'm kind of popping the cherry out here.
So in the new town, in the new city, when it comes to popping your cherry for performance, right? Are you more excited or nervous?
I say nervous is in a good way though. You understand what I'm saying?
Like butterflies,
no butterfly. I think the nerves is good nerves. Like I'm not like I'm good. Like I'm not. You know what I mean? I know I'm gonna go out there and do my thing, but the only reason the nerves is because I'm gonna say anxious. I don't want to say nervous. I'm gonna say anxious because I never performed out here yet. So for me to like be like, okay, that's one check I could say I performed in LA.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So now it's like it's time to keep going and let's perform some more out here.
Bucket list, boom.
But exactly. So I ain't gonna say nervous. I'm gonna say more anxious because I don't be nervous.
Now I know you have a fond love for Tacoma, Washington, man. Because Tacoma showed you that love on the West Coast, and that was the first time you were saying it was lit out there.
That was the first.
Shout out to C-Tac.
Yeah, the Red Radar podcast. You was saying that there, man.
Oh, okay.
But I mean that's kind of dope how you would go to a spot, be anxious, not know what's going on, and then they sing all the words to your song. Man, I know it's got to be an amazing feeling.
Man, that was crazy, and that was the come up, man. You know what I mean? Like that was the come up way before. OOOUUU. I think this was like when my mixtape did it drop yet? Did the mixtape? Yeah, it dropped. My mixtape probably dropped like a good week before we went out there. You know what I mean? Man. So everything was fresh. Like the only thing I really had booming was like the freestyles I had or whatever the case. So when I went out there and I'm seeing mad people from New York, man, they like, yo, I'm from New York too. I'm like, y'all lit out here. And they was on it. Like, I got love. It was like beautiful girls, cute girls. I'm like, yo, like Tacoma, I never heard. Like I never, you know what I mean? Not to be disrespectful, but I never heard of Tacoma, Washington. And now
it's on.
It's on.
It's one of them must stops.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
We gotta go through there.
Show the love to your folks. Now,
absolutely.
Outside of that, I mean, since social media opens you up worldwide now, what are some areas that's sending you some love that kind of threw you off? Like, damn, I didn't know they fuck with me out there.
Well, one, Tacoma. Let me see. I'm gonna say London. I'm not too surprised with London because I know London is like. There's a lot of hip hop heads out there. Like they really love hip hop out there. But it was a surprise to me because like I never been to London. You understand? Like I never touched London. I never did any type of radio or nothing in London. So to get so much feedback from people saying, come to London, come to London, come to London, even Toronto, Canada, like I'm like
how the hell
you know what I mean? Toronto, Canada, I just heard about Africa, right? Just heard about Africa.
Damn, you gotta get out there. I still haven't been to Africa.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
tell me how that shit go.
Yeah,
I heard it's hot as a motherfucker.
Right, you know what I mean? So, you know, those is like 3 areas. I can't even say right now. I know it's like more, but right now I can't even think of that. But yeah, man, like,
what do you think the temperature, or we were talking earlier about how it was quiet in New York for a little bit. What do you think that was attributed to? You know, because I'm gonna break it down why I say that, because the West, we went through that same thing as well. So I kind of want to get what your perception was and what was going on in New York at that time before things started kind of bubbling.
I ain't gonna lie. It do basically fall back on the DJs and radio. You know what I'm saying? Because they have power and position. You know what I mean? Like the DJs and, you know, at the radio stations and stuff, they have the power to basically break artists. And I think we was just basically going off what was the wave. So I'm gonna say that now it's becoming a unity thing, but I've been was calling for that.
Right.
I've been was saying, yo, what up? New York was good. You know what I mean? Brooklyn was good. I see promoters in my city, but nobody's booking me. But I'm getting booked here in Connecticut. I'm getting booked here in other cities, Jersey. You know what I mean? But how are you guys like freaking an hour away from each other?
So I mean, I'm sure you would have connections with DJs and promoters and things of that nature. What was their excuse, or what was their reasoning for not being able to do it?
I can't even. They ain't never say. It's like now it's becoming like they calling it the new New York now. You understand? And I could appreciate it because that's what we need. So I'm not mad at it.
Ride the wave.
I'm not mad at it.
You know, something is happening.
Yeah, about to say, like, now at least y'all getting it now. Like, at least we understanding it now. You know, maybe it was supposed to start in this era right here. Maybe this was the time for it to happen, you know. Maybe it was for us to, you know, learn from it, you know what I mean, see what we was doing different and kind of change it. And now let's just bring this wave. Not to say anything against, you know, other artists from, you know, the South or, you know, Midwest or West Coast or whatever the case. I love all type of music. I don't care, you know what I mean? But I feel like as New York City, we should still stick to New York City, just like the South sticks to the South, just like Midwest sticks to Midwest, and just like the West Coast stick to West Coast. I feel like New York was becoming basically like a variety of different things besides New York City.
Pot, yeah.
Right, you know what I mean? So that was what was confusing to me, because there's a lot of artists in New York City that's really New York City. Like, we ain't going to sugarcoat it. Let's keep it real. Like, New York City has its own sound.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
So I think we didn't lose it. I'm going to say that. We just wasn't putting it out there.
Right.
Never lost it. That's what I was trying to tell people. We never lost it. It just wasn't getting exposed. It wasn't getting shown.
Platforms.
Right. The platform was gone. And I think it kind of took the OGs to kind of show that too. Like OGs like 50 Cent and the, you know, the Jay-Z's and the Jadakisses to really, you know, put that stamp like, yo, let's bring this. Like, let's come together. Let's bring the new kids out, because, you know what I mean, we old in that. We've been through that already. Now it's time to give them that platform, you know what I mean, to become the next Jadakisses and whatever the case may be. So
I'm glad you said that. Do you think it's the artist's responsibility, or do you think it's something that they should just naturally do? Do you think they have a responsibility to pay it forward to the next generation, or do you think that it's just something that's optional?
I think it's just something they should want to do. I just feel like, you know what I mean, because we should just have unity. Why not?
No, I agree with you. I'm just asking from other people's perspective. Because I definitely think that once you get a platform or something like that, it's your responsibility to do something with it.
Right, exactly.
I'm not saying you know.
Right, absolutely. Like, you have a voice.
To sign this person,
right, but you do have a voice.
Right.
You do have a say so. So yeah, definitely that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean. Sometimes people will hear you, and if you put a stamp on this person, people can be like, oh, okay, so you know this is what it is. All right, cool. You understand what I'm saying? But me, like how I was thinking, I didn't want no stamp from nobody. I didn't want no cosigns. I had something to prove. I was like, listen, y'all ain't got to cosign me. Right. I don't need that. It's cool. Right, it's cool.
So the next Young M.A mixtape is called Anti-Social.
Facts.
The reason why I brought that up is because, like I said, we went through that out here. Like, there was a period of time where it was dry. You know what I'm saying? Right. We had artists doing their thing. They were talented, representing the West, had their own sound, but I think a combination of a couple of different things happened. You had the promoters who wouldn't book shows. They were getting shut down because fights were happening or whatever, so they were strictly blocked as to what shows could happen. Then you would have the DJs that wouldn't play shit because the way music was consumed was different. We went from, you know, a whole different system where people are listening to the radio to being consumed online. So now people aren't listening to music the same way. So instead of me listening to my favorite song on the radio, I can just get online and listen to emcee whoop de whoop whoever. You know what I'm saying? So from there, the DJs are saying, well, no, we need some hot music. And the artists weren't. They were making hot music, but they weren't making the music to the standard of what the radio DJs wanted or could play. So I think everybody had their responsibility. And then on top of that, the OGs, I'm not going to say they didn't want to co-sign, but they was like, hey, man, step your game up, little nigga.
Right.
We're not going to co-sign.
That was New York City.
And then,
That's with the city. But how do you know if that person not stepping their game up or not? You can't. Why? Because his music don't sound like what's sounding right now, like whatever's the sound right now. Like that's what it seemed like it was about. It was like if you wasn't fitting in with what was hot, then you wasn't hot. You can't say that. You know what I mean? Like what's hot was whatever's the wave at the moment, so everybody's supposed to sound like that. What happened to being you or sounding different or bringing in a new wave or, you know, basically just, I guess, just trying to step out the boundary? Like, yeah, we got this, but we got this too. And we got this too. And that's it. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to listen to the same thing if it's being played. It's like being hypnotized. If you listening to the radio, if you listening to the radio, you ain't got to necessarily like the song, but if you hear it so much, you're going to start singing the song.
What did we just say?
We were just talking about
like word of mother. Like I put on the radio, I hear like some pop song come on, I just start singing it because I done heard it so much on the radio, but I don't even know, you know what I mean, nothing about the person, you know what I mean? But I feel like like with me, I can't even speak for everybody, but I know when I listen to the radio, and if I hear something new or fresh, I'm gonna be interested because I know that this is not what the radio is doing right now. So it's like, you know, hello, let's kind of squeeze that back in here and make that happen again. Like what happened to that? Like,
you know, what's funny is that that's how our show, our platform started. There was no, you know, the radio was doing their thing, but there was literally only one station you can hear your music on, and they weren't playing a lot of in LA. They weren't playing a lot of the stuff that was going. This is pre YG, and you know,
this before this station is here.
Before the station was here too.
Wow.
So we blew up our shit in my bedroom in the house. Who's like, man, fuck it. If you can't get on the radio, come on to the crib, you know, in Inglewood. Come hang out, you know what I'm saying? Homegrown radio. We gonna play your shit. It was strictly online, but we blew up a coast from our bedroom, you know what I'm saying? One of the parts people played Kendrick Lamar back in the day, you know what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying. It's like, but at the same time, we had that responsibility, or we kind of had that same mindset of like, man, you know what? If they not gonna play our shit, we gonna support the motherfuckers anyway. And we gonna blow our shit up.
Because I'm from here.
Yeah,
and I give a fuck.
Exactly. You care. You care. There's nothing wrong with caring.
Exactly, man. So I definitely hear you. Like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to sound how I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep on pushing regardless. You know what I'm saying? But I think it is a responsibility for the DJs. Everybody has
the DJs,
their role.
The radio, the OGs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Everybody have a role.
Everybody have a role, man. Like, not saying, like, okay, let's basically build our sound back, and then we can come together. Nobody say we can't come together and make music. But let's not forget about, you know what I mean? Exactly. So that's all, you know what I mean? Because I love all type of music. I love all the dab music and the, you know, the flex and all. I dance like that in the club all the time. I have fun. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but you do have people who still want to hear, you know what I mean, that other sound again. You know what I mean? That sound, that low sound again. That people want that still. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like that's how I am. That's my style.
Well, I gotta salute you because you sound New York, you know what I'm saying? You authentic to your shit.
That's where I'm from.
Love it. And I love it.
You know what I mean? That's how I was brought up.
A lot of artists don't do that though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They go with the new wave, and
they go with the new wave.
With that if you want to do that style, that's your thing. But I always think every artist has a responsibility to have that sound of where they're from, even if you just have to have some kind of stamp, because that's going to push that next legacy to the next generation.
Exactly, and then I feel like now with the venues and everything in New York City can broaden now. We can bring, you know, artists together and open up a venue and sell out a venue with each other now.
That
you know
that
what I mean?
part, homie, for real. Like that's the thing. I think the economic standpoint needs to kind of increase on that end too. And
Right.
if artists get on that shit instead of saying, you know what, damn, why aren't we getting booked? Man, start your own promotions company.
Right, exactly.
Start shows, get a venue, do
Right,
whatever. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So it is what it is. As far as music, man, what you got coming up? Anything that you're working on right now, or are you still kind of riding this way with the music? Are you recording? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm definitely recording. I'm in the process of recording now. Trying to distinguish if I want to drop an EP or I want to drop a mixtape. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm in the works of that. But now that I'm in the, back in the studio vibes, like whenever I get a chance to, because I've been crazy booked.
Yeah.
You understand? So basically right now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm focused on the music always. Don't get me wrong, and I'm definitely gonna give them a project. You know what I mean, before the year is out. But I'm focusing on the tour too.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean, touring and just basically spreading the word.
Yeah.
That Young M.A is here. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of people know, but when you like physically in front of people and you giving them I feel like that's different. You know what I mean? Than just seeing me on the internet and all that. Like you could really change people. Like you could really make somebody be like, oh nah, I'm coming to all her shows. 'Cause that's where the money at.
Yep.
You gotta make your shows lit because that's where the money at. You could be on the internet all day. You understand what I'm saying? But that money is at them shows, man. So basically, I'm just trying to touch these souls out here, man.
Merchandise, all that too.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, we got all that coming. Merch coming. Yeah, website. My website is youngmamusic.com, so all that'll be on the website or whatever, and then we'll have the Red Life Gear website where you have Red Life merch or whatever the case. So yeah, we in the process of that like today. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I'm very impressed by you.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Thank you.
Like real shit. Like you got me. You know what I'm saying? Just getting to know the person behind the pistols and
yeah, I'm a businesswoman now, man.
I'm fucking with you, but now for real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to have a conversation.
He was
with
so
people.
serious though. He was like behind the pistols. Like, you can't do that, man, because they already watching me in New York.
Allegedly,
I'm retarded.
Let's look on the camera. Allegedly, allegedly. So
get that up out of there, man.
Real quick, you like no.
What's one thing that you haven't touched on in your music that you feel like on the next EP, the next single, whatever, that you feel like now? Because I feel like you're very open with everything. You know what I'm saying? What is it now that you have to not have to speak on, but that what do you have to say next?
See, that's one thing about me. That's the good thing I can say is because I speak off my experiences, and I speak off whatever I'm going through. So I go off my emotions or my feelings or whatever the case. You know what I mean? Your life don't stop. True. Unless you die or whatever. But I'm saying, like, something happens all the time. Whether it's good or it's bad. Yeah. Whether you see it's something going on where you can speak about it. You know what I mean? So one thing I can say about me, I don't talk about the Porsches and the Ferraris and the big houses yet because I don't have that yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about what I have. Like, I don't care about talking about my Hyundai. And you know what I mean? Still on the block or whatever the case. So if I do get that Benz, now I can talk about that Benz. Yeah. Cause I never talked about it before. Gotcha. So now I can say
it's a journey.
Yeah, it's a journey. It's an experience. So I just want people to not feel like I'm not fake. Like nothing about me is fake. This is all realistic. I don't care about saying I don't have a Benz or nothing like that. I don't care about that because you know how many people don't have a Benz and can relate? Me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I need that base. I need that fan base. I need them people. I need that audience to hear me.
It's the majority anyway.
It's the majority. It's the people that's actually buying. Right. You know what I mean? That's supporting. So basically, like what you said, like what could you talk about next? It'll be whatever comes next for me.
Yeah. Now, okay. What is the biggest misconception about Young M.A that you've either seen on social media or heard the blog, whatever? What's the biggest misconception that you feel?
Being in a gang.
Red Life is not a gang
affiliated.
Red Life is not a gang.
I just know them. You understand? Like we all know. Some of you know gang members.
Yeah, I know a lot.
You know gang members.
Absolutely.
Even though he was OG.
Yeah.
He was back in the day. Yeah. But like, come on, we all had a past. But just because I'm around it don't mean we just out here blooding all day. You know what I mean? But I know, people going to assume because it's Red Life. Yeah. Even though they must not know their history.
I definitely assumed.
You assumed Red Life was blood?
Yeah. Well, no, I knew it was when I looked at the way it was spelled and what it was. I'm thinking, oh, it's a clique or a label, some of that nature because of the music.
Right.
If there was no music, then I would automatically go to that.
You would go to Blood?
Yeah,
Why?
I think most people would.
Why?
That's just the common.
If a group of white boys had a clique named Red Life, you assume they Bloods?
In this new era, hell yeah. Not
they dress like, you know, preppy, like business suits and all that.
And they said Red Life. I would ask questions. But it's like I said,
but you assume they Bloods, or you assume what?
I would assume there was some sort of organized crime, or something. You know, white
but like you gotta think of it,
white
like
people be organized. You know
and so,
what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I mean? Come on, like if you see a group of businessmen and they had Red Life on their suitcases or something, you wouldn't question it. You just look at it like...
I would want to have a conversation. I always want to have a conversation, though. I'll talk to atheists, skinheads, Aryan Nation, Aryan Brotherhoods. I'll talk to all kinds. I want to have a conversation so I know what it is.
You probably wouldn't even read it as Red Life. You'll probably read it like Red Life. Relief.
These guys at the Red
You know what I
Leaf.
mean? Relief. You know what I mean? Or something like that. So that's how you gotta look at it, man. It's all stereotyping, man. It's all assuming.
It's for sure stereotyping.
Exactly. So, you know, that's all. But Red Life is not a gang, so that's my biggest, you know, misconception is, you know, I'm a Blood. I don't like Crips. I'm against Crips. I'm a Crip killer. All this crazy, stupid shit.
Nah,
Meanwhile,
I didn't go that far.
Right, but no, this is what I see on my social media.
Really?
Like they be like, oh, why you have on blue? You supposed to be a red. And then I see Crips under my thing, like it's Crip for life. And
I
just be like, yeah, this is what they. Yes, man, I see this all the time.
Out there, Young M.A fuck with everybody.
Yeah, come on, man. I got my brother on my father's side is a Crip. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. What the hell am I? Yo, it's crazy, but that's how it be. You know what I mean?
See, I didn't know it went that.
But even that, come on, nowadays Bloods and Crips is like,
hell yeah.
Come on, man. But these to be the young kids, not knowing what they talking about. They don't know the history on it, so I just let them be. You know, but I just want people to know that is my biggest misconception. I'm not Blood. I'm Red Life. Red Life is a movement. It's a music movement. It's a spiritual movement. Red is R-E-D, which is repent every day, and life is the lifestyle. And we believe in God. Red is for the blood of Jesus. It's spiritual, man. It don't got nothing to do with clapping nothing.
Jesus was gangbanging too.
But if we was talking about something else,
right.
But I ain't gonna speak on that.
Exactly.
But Red Life, let's make that clear. Red Life is the label. There's no gang, no violence, nothing.
I'm glad you
along
put that
with
out
that.
there.
Yeah,
I'm glad you let me know that.
Shout out to Pain Gang though.
Now,
Shout out to the Pain.
And on that note,
last thing before we let you go, the year can't end without Young M.A doing what?
Well, she said the tour and the mix, dropping something. Whether it's
I'm talking about something else.
Okay, so outside,
like a fun experience, a travel.
Oh, okay. The year can't end. Let me see. Without Young M.A having a threesome.
Woo!
I never had a threesome.
Never. You never had a threesome?
Because girls don't seem like they want to have the threesome.
Oh, we gonna get you a threesome in L.A.
It's like they just want me to themselves. You know what I mean? Like, no, yeah, exactly.
They don't want to share, Young M.A.
I think it got to be two girls I'm attracted to. Like, it can't just be the one girl I'm attracted to, then this random ass girl.
Homegrown Radio.